All right, guys. Sorry about this. Stock market news today, March 3rd, year of our Lord 2021. Some bite-sized, quick hit stock market news for traders, geeks, and misfits you probably won't find on CNBC. And I said probably. Try to do this under 10 minutes. Sorry, my mic was muted. That's what happens when you stream this stuff and you do it quickly. So let's go to the markets. You can see there. It's a trading view. S&P down 50. NASDAQ down 376. Almost looks like, I believe it's almost down 3 points. And the Dow Jones was down 121. If you want to see it on a white screen, you can see it there down. Actually, the Dow was up most of the day, and then the end of the hour, I guess people were just taking profits. I'm trying to look at some of the Cohen and Company. I think I had them. I think we called them. We also called some of these. Rocket was down today. It went up like a rocket yesterday, but it was down today. All right, let's get going here. So first up, we're going to top 5 analyst upgrades today. Alcoa AA, Eaton ETN, 3D Systems DDD. You see there on your screen. Iridium IRDM. We called them about 2 weeks ago. We like Iridium. They were upgraded to outperform from market performance at Raymond James. Yes, and Roku. We're also strong on them. I'm sure Cathie Wood will talk about her in just like ROKU. All right, let's talk about, so I didn't hit this yesterday because it had just come out. I saw it on Twitter, but Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy, right, was out touting his new ETF. Essentially, he regularly day trades. He's horrible at it, but he got into the GameStop and had issues with that. It was really outspoken about that. Now he's introducing his own ETF, which uses artificial intelligence to determine what stocks to trade based on positive online posts, like at Reddit, like Yahoo message boards, right? So on and so forth. Twitter, if you would, right? And if they can get a Facebook API, which I'm sure they can probably do it there. The Van Eck Vector Social Sentiment ETF, or BUZZ, BUZZ, starts trading, I believe, on Thursday, so tomorrow, on the NYSE. It'll hold 75 companies, which have a market cap of 15 billion or more. 5 billion or more, and it'll rotate these stocks based on social media posts. All right. Next up, Netflix. Netflix introduced, they actually came out with something today that they actually admitted is a competitor, or that they have a competitor, and that is TikTok. Netflix launched its new feature, Fast Laughs, a video outplaying feed similar to Chinese app TikTok, the company announced on Wednesday. If you hadn't checked out our TikTok, it's pretty cool, actually. I'll tell you about TikTok. Here's why TikTok's great. You can literally you can make 3 videos and all of a sudden you've got 50,000 followers. I mean, you can go from 0 to 100,000 followers and just like that, and all of a sudden you have a great distribution channel. The vertically oriented feature that offers short, funny clips is currently available on iPhones in some countries, while Netflix intends to test the app on Android soon. Netflix users will be allowed to share fast laugh content on WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. So I guess you can go to, my understanding is that you can go to the Netflix and it'll have some tools there. I'm sure you can find it here on TechCrunch. That's where I found it. Let's talk about Cathie Wood and ARK Invest. She's come under some fire lately, especially on Twitter, that she is very concentrated in some small cap stocks and owning more than 10%, if not 20%. And so if her outflows begin to increase, she's going to have to start selling, and other hedge funds can feast on that. She was with Benzinga today. She expressed excitement that investors have for cryptocurrencies. We are very optimistic about Bitcoin in particular, she says. Yeah, I want to say she's a Bitcoin maximalist, although she does like Ethereum. I think and this is why. She touched on the subject of non-fungible tokens, NFTs. We talked about them all last week and this week now, saying they're very exciting and co-called the cryptocurrency 2.0. has proved itself well in the digital art as Async Art company introduced a blockchain-based creation of art designs. Let me tell you, there's about 15 websites out there that NFTs can be bought and sold on. You can Google those. Some are cool. Some are still kind of tough to use, but they're out there. It's pretty cool because it's, with the NFTs, the original owner of the artwork, the artist itself, every time it sells, they get a royalty. Would also share high hopes for about fintech is the most of the misunderstood technology platforms and that digital wallets are easy going to gut banks. They are going to easily gut banks, is what she said. So, and I agree. I mean, Apple can open that up and just go for it. I mean, their digital wallet's phenomenal. All right, Intel was ordered to pay, in fact, a penalty of $2.1 billion for infringing on 2 patents that belong to VLSI technology. The patents named in the lawsuit focused on reducing the power consumption of semiconductors. Oh, it sucks. But hey, in VLSI technology, it sounds like I don't know if they're patent trolls or not. I don't think they are. Biden announced yesterday that he anticipates U.S. will manufacture enough COVID-19 vaccines for every adult by May, moving up the July timeline. Put out just a few weeks ago. Biden also aims to have all school teachers, and that's key. I know there's a little, whatever side you're on the school teachers, whether they need to go back to work or not, doesn't matter because he's going to move them up, get them vaccinated first. School teachers should receive at least one vaccine shot by the end of March. So let's hope that comes true. OPEC, up next. OPEC could not come to agreements with all the OPEC members today. Here's what they said. OPEC and its allies failed to reach an agreement on the potential easing of oil output cuts during the joint ministry meeting held on Wednesday, fueling oil prices climb of more than 3%. So they were going to open it up. They did not. West Texas WTI traded up 3% today on that news. ADP, you see it there. Private payrolls growth well short of expectation. I wouldn't say well short, but yeah. ADP's latest private payroll report says U.S. companies added just 117,000 new jobs in the economy in February, falling short of projections of 225. So they missed about 100,000, which sucks. All right, Google plans to stop targeting ads based on your browsing history. That's a bow. That's a shot across the bow of Facebook. Beginning next year, Google plans to stop selling ads based on individual browsing data and will stop investing in tracking technologies that identify web users. So that's the big FU to Facebook. By the way, this news must have been known. Facebook Shorts have been racking up literally since Tuesday of last week, and they've racked up big. So you can look on FinViz for that. I thought that was very, very interesting, especially when I saw this. Because I had noticed that on Monday, and dang, there you have it. Got to read between the tea leaves sometimes. I say you don't see any stories on the CNBC, but yet it looks like I'm going to use 2 of them. Major Bitcoin mining region in China's Inner Mongolia will be shut down by regulators. The shutdown is imposed to reduce energy consumption as the region accounts for 8% of Bitcoin mining globally. So that will hurt China's dominance in the Bitcoin mining, which is good for the U.S. Now, the U.S. only has about 7.2. So this is very, very good. Hopefully, the U.S. can scale up and fill up that slack. There's a big look, man. I think it's very disingenuous for people to say, "Oh, well, Bitcoin uses more power than Venezuela." That's like saying, "Okay, yeah, but it's money, right? It's store of value. Gold takes more energy to mine. The carbon footprint is ridiculous when you look at gold, right? Also, I think that clearly, the further that green energy gets along, the more that Bitcoin's going to use it. And first and foremost, Bitcoin will find the cheapest sources. So they're not using coal, I can promise you, right? Coal's cheap, but they're at dams. They're right beside dams. They're using the cheapest electricity they can find. That's the only way they can be profitable when you mine Bitcoin. All right, let's move on. Microsoft introduced their mesh platform, an XR platform that allows developers to build VR and AR apps for cross-platform meetings. During its Ignite developer conference today, the Azure-powered service is designed to make it easier for people to collaborate virtually, starting with avatars and even holographic experiences. You can see it there. So that'll be something for the kids. For sure. All right, Golden Globes. Let's talk them because I've got a little hot sports opinion here. Viewership of the Golden Globes fell by more than 60% this year. It was like 6.9 million people tuned in compared to more than 18 million in 2020. Now, a lot of people I've seen on Twitter are pointing to, oh, they're political. I mean, you even saw Sacha Cohen. I think he took a shot at Trump. He took a shot at Rudy Giuliani. That's all great and good. I could care less, to tell you the truth. But I don't think it's that. I tell you what I think it is. There weren't a lot of movies. So nobody was really, at least there weren't a lot of A-list movies. And when you don't see them on screen, they kind of get pushed back in the hard drive, if you would. All right, Texas. You know what happened in Texas. Texas and Mississippi to lift mask mandates and roll back COVID restrictions. Now, I do have a sports opinion on this. So Abbott, our governor here in Texas, he says that COVID-19 infection rates have declined. Hospital rates have declined. By next week, 25% of all Texans will have had at least one shot. That's very, very good. He is going to 100%. I agree with that. The mask mandate, I think it is a little bit early. I think he needs to wait about just a month more, and I think we'd be good. What's funny about this is that I've got friends now. We've got people who work for us who have said that literally they are they're fighting shots. We had a 28-year-old. Her friend's a nurse, and they had an extra vaccine, so she called her. And so, not to cut the line, but they're out there. In fact, if you're watching this, I would tell you, if you're in a large city and you're waiting for that large city to get vaccines and to get your shot, you're gonna be waiting a very, very long time. You need to go to the smaller towns. You need to start looking, right? All right. Next up, our favorite Chinese electric vehicle startup, NIO, said it will reduce production in Q2 of this year due to the global semiconductor shortage. All EV producers are. The shortage caused by the COVID-19 pandemic is projected to cost automakers $61 billion this year, and that includes GM. NIO's increased its monthly production capacity to 10,000 vehicles in February, up from 7,500. However, the shortage will force NIO to scale back production back to the 7,500 mark. You see it there. But yeah, this is affecting everyone. Tesla, GM, Ford. So next up, we've got a little bit more Bitcoin news. Billionaire investor Dan Loeb is the latest hedge fund manager to explore Bitcoin publicly. Loeb leads third point in asset manager with approximately $17 billion in assets under management. Loeb tweeted that, you can see it here, that he has been doing a deep dive into crypto and is looking to overcome the idea that being late to the crypto party will inevitably lead to one taking the sucker seat at the high stakes poker table. Meaning that he didn't want to be left holding the bag. I completely understand. I don't think that it's the early days, but I surely don't think it's anywhere close to, I would say it's probably the second, third inning. So if you want to call that early, you are. So, and I had this discussion on how you made your first million podcast on Twitter, because he bought some, I think in January. I forget his name right now, but on Twitter, and him went a little bit back and forth. He's a nice guy though, pretty cool guy too. All right, New York, NYAG stands for Attorney General Letitia James published a warning for crypto investors. She also reminded unregistered business operating in New York of her authority to suspend operations. Too often, greedy industry players take advantage and risk with investors' money. I agree with that. So if she wants to go after people who have other people's money, I agree with that. My issue is why are you singling out crypto when you've got, I don't know, I want to say $1 trillion in corporate debt. You've got, small caps. Their small caps are far more volatile. Biotech is far more volatile than Bitcoin. Now, the other cryptocurrencies, I can't speak for them all, right? But if you're talking about specifically Bitcoin, there should be no singling out of BTC. Now, there's absolute crypto scams. You need to go after those, but do not single out the crypto space when you have numerous. Look at if I want to start a restaurant, my percentage of success there is about 1%. Once you start there, right? So it just doesn't make sense to single out crypto. In fact, Basari, let's talk about Coinbase one more time. Basari reported that the total assets on Coinbase's platforms. So they have Coinbase Retail, Coinbase Pro. They've got another one for their institutional clients. I forget exactly what it's called, including the exchange and its custodial wallets. Total, listen to this, 11% of all crypto assets. So if you took that, if you got a $1 trillion market cap, which you're right at, you get 10% of that, 100 million, and that's exactly what their market cap will be. Well, that'll do it for today, guys. We appreciate it. We've got one sponsor, StockTrade.tips, one goal, to help you profit off the insider positions of the hedge funds. And they do it through SMS text to you if they find that a position is still in the money or still profitable. Watch your six. You go hard in the paint, guys. Cheers. You have a good night. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks again, guys.